Shout out to everybody jumping on. If you are on the MJMG Presents app, salute to y'all for tuning in. I want to send a big shout out to MJMG jumping on right now. America's Online, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody jumping on right now. We got a special guest, and if you don't know, you're gonna know today. We're gonna know today. If you saw the post, it was with the man behind the scenes is stepping in front today, and it's an honor to sit down and we're gonna talk about, passion. We're gonna talk about artistry and the dedication of. So if you're an artist, you might want to take notes. Shout out to America's Online, said dropping gems on this beautiful Monday. Salute to you. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting to some gems. We're going to be talking about the journey, and we're going to highlight some of the methods and things that we can all apply to our lives, no matter what road we take. Jada Exec, shout it out. So that's what we're doing today on SHU Radio. We have Terrell with me. And a lot of people probably can't even put the face to the name because he's been doing what he got to do behind the scenes. But today he honored us with a moment, and I'm really appreciated. So shout out to everybody jumping on. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And again, salute to everybody on the MJMG Presents app right now. We got Black Soprano family in the building. Tone, I see you. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go into this video. And if anyone knows, and just to give perspective, if anybody knows, I've always shouted out, and I be abbreviating. I'd be like the SY Collective, right? And if you ever seen the Collective, and on the A&R desk, we have so much talented R&B, songstress, just a vibe. And I always say that Philadelphia sound. That's I always say. And 90%, if not 100%, of those amazing talents are coming out of this camp. So you might want to stay on to check out and hear the man behind a lot of this talent that been sent on. Book of Orlando, I see you. So this artist named Brianna Ray, I just learned is very instrumental into where he is in this collective. Very instrumental. So we didn't get into it. We could have gotten to it, but we didn't get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this video called Power, and then we're going to bring the man of the hour on. So shout out to everybody on that's jumping on tonight. Check this out, and we'll be right on with the set.
Auntie, I don't know about this. I mean, I want to do it, but I'm a singer, but not a singer. I don't know about this.
Baby, let me tell you. God gave you a gift, a voice. Use it. You get on that stage and you sing like you never sung before. I got faith in you. I believe in you. And I know you believe in yourself. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Amen?
Amen.
All right.
SHU Studio, we get busy.
It's your power that saves lives. It's your power, I'll be a living sacrifice with all that I am. For all that you do, I'm gonna praise you. You move mountains no one could ever move, and you break chains, oh Lord, you always see me through. With all that I am, oh, for all that you do, in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder working power in the precious blood of the Lamb.
Shout out to everybody that's jumped on. That was Brianna Ray with Power. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're just jumping on right now, we have an individual who I once had to refer to the camp as like the R&B version of Wu-Tang. Like they every time we have a show, it's like a new emerging member of great talent. But the man behind it all, who's been putting in a lot of work, and not just having artists out there. I see him involved in shows, always promote. I see a lot of things, and we're gonna get to that today. We have the individual Terrell with being it, and I know time is money. And I don't want to spend too much of this person's. So let's invite him on the set right now. My brother, how are you doing today?
I'm chilling. I'm doing good.
First and foremost, I wanna thank you for jumping on this show today. I know it's a rare occasion.
Rare. Yes, you getting like a super exclusive.
Exclusive. We getting an exclusive, y'all. We most definitely are. We appreciate it. Before we get too in depth or further in depth. Could you just tell the people where you hailing from and you know just who you are real quick?
My name is Terrell. I'm not trying to put my last name out there, but I'm hailing from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. In the daytime, I'm an educational administrator. In the nighttime, I do a talent agency called SYFM, which stands for Seek Ye First Management, which comes from Matthew 6:33.
And I was gonna ask what the initials actually stand for, even though I know your other page as well. But I wanted to ask that. They said Philly is in the building. That is correct, Tone. We got Philly in the building. So I know you got your hands, you got your daytime, your nighttime, how you broke it up. How did you get involved in the music sense of it all?
So initially I started doing music with like my ex-wife. We had a youth ministry where we used to meet with the kids every Friday night. And then I had these two singers and my son Devin, and they had a group, and it was name of the group was Authentic Praise. And just because of like some church politics, they didn't really get an opportunity to like sing like they should have been doing for the caliber of singers they were.
Okay.
And so then I started to go around the DMV and just get different places for them to perform. And that's kind of how it started.
That's interesting.
That's yeah, that was the beginning. And then later on, maybe 4 or 5 years later, my church was having a fundraiser for 821, which is like sex trafficking ministry.
Okay.
And we were having a talent show, and I was in charge of the talent show. And one of my best friends at the time, her name is Karen Stevenson. Her best friend is Brianna Ray's mom. And I just
Ah.
used to remember, I was really like sitting at my desk on one day, and I just remember like how she used to talk about how good she could sing. And so I just reached out to her mom, and then that's how it all started.
Oh, so Brianna Ray was the first person.
Well, the
What?
first artists were Jasmine Campbell and Paula Williams. But Brianna Ray was the first artist in what I'm doing now, like more professional, more in the industry.
Gotcha. And now you have like an extensive catalog of artists. How did you
Yeah.
come across like the amount of talent that you be sending to shows like this? Like, how did you come across that, and how do you maintain that?
All right, so the name of the company is Seek You First Management, right? And so the word says that if you seek after God's kingdom, everything will be added to you. And so pretty much that's true. Because like I don't really have like a background in music. I don't play, I don't sing, like I don't do anything music, right? The thing that I do well is listen to God. And so like when Brianna, like when I started to work with Brianna, we would go to the studio and we would talk, and she'll be wanting to have like musical conversations that I couldn't have with her. So she was like, "You need to find somebody that I could talk to so that, she could reach her apex or whatever." And so I was like, "All right." And so she did a project called Here for a Reason.
Okay.
And we had like an album release. And then it was a friend of mine's at the time who name is Malik. And he had like his own record label, his own company called Troublemakers. And it was this one artist whose name was Alon. Um, and I needed some background singers. And I was just like, all right, let me let me see if she would sing for Brianna. And she did. And then that eventually led me to working with her.
Okay.
And then my trio was the next person. And the main way how I found all the artists is that Brianna had this show that she was doing for independent artists, and it was called Singing Sundays.
Okay.
And so I was like the booker of the show, so I had to go out and find different artists. But like the thing about Brianna is that she's like a singer. So she will only want people who can sing like really good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that kind of was the standard. And then like during the pandemic, I got like she had a singing coach. Her name is Sally B, and she has like this company called Singing Flat, and she gave me the invitation to go on Clubhouse. I started to go to Clubhouse, go to the music rooms, scouting for singers, and then God will pretty much direct me to all the artists who I work with now. So it isn't like I just work with random people. Every person that I work with was sent to me by God. He'll be like, go check out this bio. I reach out to them. Some people it took months before they would work with me.
Okay.
Like, so that's kind of how I started.
We got a question coming in already from our chat, and it was, how do the artists get past the stigma of being traditional gospel artists?
I mean, it's a Christian company, so it's no, like, for me, it wasn't no stigma. I pretty much let the artist be the artist, and so like good music is good music, regardless about what the what you're thinking about. If it sounds good and it can give you a feeling or a vibe, then people gonna rock with it. And so like with Rihanna, like our thing was in the beginning we wanted to go into untraditional places
Okay.
and bring God there. So we wasn't like we was he wasn't necessarily making traditional sounding gospel at first. At first she was just rapping over she was just singing over a lot of rap beats.
Okay.
And then eventually we found her sound with someone named Brian Cook, who really developed her and grew her sound.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I will say, and that was one of our conversations in the A&R desk. Outside of just the idea of gospel, I know when some people, some listeners hear it, they expect a certain type of energy or a certain type of sound, and that was one thing that really came out listening to your artists, that they spoke the word where it just touched you, period.
Yeah.
It just reached you genuinely. My question to you is, with the array of artists you have, the amount, and how do you manage that? Like, as you as management,
A one man band, right?
how do you do it? I know people who work with two, three, even one artist that it's a lot. How do you maintain and keep that ship going smoothly?
Well, like I would say this. I would say that um the thing that makes it beautiful or easy to do is just the artists that I work with. For the most part, there's no ego, there's no cattiness because it's mostly women. There's one dude, but mostly women, right? And but like the thing is that on the surface, we're all coming together to chase our dreams together, right? And so the collective is just an artist development community that's just based on mutual respect, iron sharpening iron, because everyone is nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a certain, it's not like competition, but it's like, all right, when one person makes a song and you hear it, then you know, like, hey, like I can't just put out anything. So it's like an accountability in the artistry, and then you know all artists deal with the same things. So I just wanted to create a community where they could have people who understand what they're going through, who's chasing the same dream as them, and then like like I love helping people. I love being a servant. So like I have to. The reason why it's so many artists is just because of my work ethic. Like and it'll be like some seasons where Brianna, she may not feel like it may not be. It might just be her time to replenish, find her songs, find her
Okay.
stories, or Montreal, or whoever the artist is. But with just the array of artists, it's always someone that I could go to and like push them and encourage them and help them like get their stories and their narratives to the market. So it all kind of
It works.
works like that.
It's working and flowing,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful thing. You mentioned
But
something. No,
oh,
good.
go ahead.
No, please, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like because it started off virtual, like because we were in a pandemic,
Oh, okay.
so like it started off virtual, except for Montreal online and Brianna, and then like as the years passed, we were doing residencies in different cities and different places, and so like we recently just came back from Memphis
Okay.
with Ariel, and that was a fun vibe.
Nice, nice, nice. You mentioned something about artist development. And
Yes.
in this day and age, with how accessible technology is and plugins and yada yada yada, a lot of artists feel like I got it, I'm ready to rock. There's nothing I need, blah blah blah. In your experience, how important is artist development, and what's your approach to it?
Um, I think that that's why the music is trash, is because that part of the game is no one's doing it. It's just like microwave songs. But I just feel like, in studying and doing research, like artist development was like what made Motown Motown, right? They
That's
had
it.
someone in the background. They were learning how to perform. They were learning how to do routines. They were learning how to interview. And so when I really understood what I had with the collective. I used like our weekly meetings that we have every Mondays to just work on different aspects from branding, content, how to register your PRO, getting an entertainment lawyer, like wherever the business calls for, like we meet and we talk about it. And then we have like we always start off with like icebreaker questions or
Okay.
just conversational questions, which is low key helping them prepare for when they interview. And it's like I don't care who you interview in the collective, everyone says that they well polished, and it's just because we had so much practice, like talking, thinking about our craft, thinking about like how you market yourself, how you market your story, what your brand pillars are, like
All that.
we in the background doing the deep dives. And like to be honest, most artists they don't wanna like they don't wanna like touch the business part. But when you independent, like you gotta do
You
everything.
gotta do everything. That
And so that's kinda like my approach.
and you are doing and you're on it on top, like you on it and you're doing everything in accordance, and it's evident, we see it in the talent that you put out and everything. In our feed there was a comment, but the question was, can you please get into the imposter syndrome and elaborate a little bit on that, and that's something that I'm hearing a
Yeah.
lot in this moment in life. I'm hearing a lot about it, and one of our viewers, shout out to MJMG, kind of brought that up in the chat. So I wanted to get to that before I forget.
Oh, okay. So especially with talented artists, like it comes a point when you're doing an artist development when they get to a point where they feel like I don't belong, right? Like it's something about me that I don't deserve to be in this spot. I don't deserve to have this opportunity. Or in the way how it manifests themselves is they'll be like super critical of their music and they won't let it go. They'll just refine it, re-record it, add some more harmonies, right? But the thing that's really happening is like deep down inside, it's like an inadequacy that they have within themselves. And a lot of times it could be like a trauma response to people who have like people in their life who may have been putting them down, or it could like it's a lot of reasons why they have it, but it makes them be like I want to say like super humble when they don't necessarily have, like they shouldn't be, right? Because like the imposter syndrome, it stops the artist from realizing like what God gave to them, because they are like they self sabotaging. They are they're not doing what they know what they could do easily. And so like in our space we talk about it. We try to get to the root of it. And even though we have talks and conversations, and like we have like because we leveraging all of our individual talents together, we have so many opportunities, right? And it could be sometimes where we might like it was this one time when we had like a really big money offer on the table, but it required everybody to be like, all right, we're going to do it. And then it was just some people that it just was like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. Or, well, obviously ready because they offering us cash. Like, but it's just fighting against that inner, it's like imposter syndrome is a internal voice or internal thought pattern inside of really talented artists that tells them you're not ready yet. You don't belong here. You
Yeah.
don't deserve this. And it's something that I struggle with every day.
Now, I got to flip to the imposter syndrome, right? And I cracked this joke a few months ago that some people have the victory syndrome where they feel like they got it all and they ready, and it's like, wait, you need some
Yeah, yeah.
rehearsing, you need some more practice. Like, you're not. No,
But
I'm
those
ready.
are the people who aren't as like, you know what I'm saying. The people that are devoid of talent have that. What they it's like it's so frustrating. The non-talented people, you're like, I got it, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna be the next Rihanna, but their voice is cracking. Now
Yes.
the person who's singing like angels is like, oh no, I gotta do this or I gotta do that before I be ready. And so that part
No.
is
And most. So, have you faced that? And if you did, how did you?
yes. All of my artists have imposter syndrome.
And no, I know.
So let's say I have 18 artists that I work with, and let's say I have 20 artists that I consult with separately from the collective, right? All 38 people have imposter syndrome.
So those numbers are accurate. You have 18 and then 20.
I don't like to say how many,
It,
but
is
that's
it is
that's
it in that range?
is in that range, yeah.
How do you manage? How we see you doing a great job managing others and that, or that amount of people. How do you manage the you between all the different mentalities, the all different demands, and the needs, as well as, just their skill sets? How do you, as an individual, manage?
I mean, I really just deal with the individual, right? Like I never talk about the other people. Like to me, if you would ask the artists I work with, they don't like they can't tell how many people I work with. Like they don't know. They just know that I work with them. Like you know
Gotcha.
what I'm saying? And so the way how I'm able to do that is that I'm relentlessly consistent with them. Like, so whenever they call, I'm gonna be available. We're gonna talk, we're gonna work through it. Um, I don't know. It's just that's my gift. I help people get to the best versions of themselves, and I never get like I'm extremely patient. And it's like it's not like a business for me. It's like God told me to reach out to these people, so it puts like a specific urgency that like I have to do it. Like you know what I'm saying. But I'm patient enough to understand that it's not going to be on my timing. It's like some people that's in the collective that I haven't talked to in like 8 months.
Okay.
Like you know what I'm saying. But I'm still there. Like
You
I'm
still there?
always
Yes.
here for you when you want to get active. And like it's not like I can't remove people from it, but it's just here for you. Like
I I get it. I get it. I see the dynamics. Now, going like solely about you in your journey and building your company and your brand, the I know we've all faced our hardships, our trips, but was there ever a moment where you felt like, you know what, I'm about to wash my hands with this? And
yeah.
if you did, what made you overcome that? Because there's a lot of artists that are on right now, and some that are gonna see this later, that I know face that moment where they're like, man, I don't know about this. How did you overcome that?
I'm like I get super frustrated a lot, right? Um and I feel like it was like a dark space in my life where I was going through a divorce. I lost my job, and my one of my sons was like fighting for their life
Wow.
all at the same time, right? And so it was like everything that made me me, I didn't have access to. And so that's kind of like when I really started to like pump the collective, and it kind of like brought me back from that dark place, like that depression, that solemnness. Like I wasn't like it was a season where I wasn't being who God made me to be. And so the first time I met Brianna, we was at the University of Maryland,
Okay.
and we walked around the track. We was walking around the track, and and God was using me to speak into her life, and it was like that's why, like she's the reason why I can't give up, or I won't just wash my hands of it because I made a promise to her,
Wow.
and like I'm gonna make sure that that promise come for her and for all the other people that I'm connected with.
I respect that. I respect that, and I
So
know.
that's the fuel. The fuel is if someone puts their dreams in your hands, you have to be a good caretaker for their dreams. Even when sometimes they may leave their dream and just deal with the life part, the
Yeah.
life be life in part. Um, like I feel like I'm gonna hold your dream. I'm gonna work my butt off to help you get connected to the manifestations of like what you believe in God for.
And that's, as they say, that's one to grow on. Most definitely words of power, and I know there's a lot of people who are working with talent that probably resonates with, and could give them some motivation towards what they want to do. Now you have you have like record label you have record label amount of talent around you. Does it ever end for you? You know what, I'm stopping here, I'm gonna focus on here, or it's like
No,
whatever comes in my way, whatever comes down my road and it resonates, I'm working with.
no, like like as far as the collective, like I made a promise to them that it was just like this one person that because I would like in the beginning I was just adding people, but I wasn't communicating that I was adding people. I would just throw them in a group chat, and then they would eventually learn. But then we just got to a point where we were building a good community. We used to do like the singer room every Mondays on the clubhouse, and like it built our brand, like because it was elite vocalists, right? And so people would come there, they would hear them, they would attach to it, and so we agreed that I wouldn't add anybody else to the collective. So but at the same time, if God tells me to like reach out to somebody, then I gotta be obedient. And I just ask God that,
Give me the
don't put
strength.
yeah, like don't put more on me than I can handle. And
Gotcha.
obviously he feels like very confident in me because
Because it keeps on coming.
it keep on coming. It keeps on. But I'm not like right now, I'm really refining. So I'm really not trying to work with like new people.
Okay.
Like, but it is this one person, well, two people that
Well, two or
I
three,
have
two
to.
or three.
No,
Just
it's two people. It's Lucy and then another person that I'm trying to onboard.
okay.
But they in a rejection phase. They like, no, I'm not working with him. He's weird or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Well, time will tell, right? Time will tell. Shout out to Trey Mays. He said, how often do you put your own personal life, I guess, to the side to offer the needs to your artists?
A lot. I mean, I do it. I would say this. Like, right now, I'm in a situation where I'm helping out someone. So, like, my loyalty to my family is like my number one thing,
Okay.
right? So, if it's family artists, I'm gonna go with family, and then I feel like they kind of understand because it has been some times where, um, like my artist was having an event or they was going through a celebratory moment, but my life was calling and I wasn't able to be there for them like I would want to be.
Okay.
So I kind of just like is it like it's a big part of my life, but it's not my whole life. Like
Gotcha.
but it does make dating extremely difficult.
I mean, you got 38 women.
So so when you try to date, they be
They be
like,
like, "Who's that calling you?
yeah,
Who?
like
How come
you
your
around
phone
all these
ringing?"
beautiful young girls. Like, no, but these like my daughters. Like, is it? It's nothing crazy. But it's like a lot of people not secure enough to be like, yo, I want to rock out with you.
Yeah, it's not for the faint at heart. It's most
Yeah,
definitely
it's
not for
definitely
that.
not.
Now, when it came to structuring out the collective and doing business and working and management artists, was business and when I say the business, like making sure everything was business tight with all your individual artists a primary thing, or was it just started off a creative thing?
No, it started off as a ministry thing.
Ah,
It evolved to a creative thing, and then it evolved into a business.
gotcha.
If
And
that makes sense.
we got a comment said I'm a bossy daughter too. Laugh out loud. We got we got a comment. Is that Kilico or Calico?
Killer Code.
Killer Cole is on. Said I'm a bossy daughter. Laugh.
Yeah, she definitely a bossy daughter.
Do you have any regrets based on your life and your passion for this job? That was a question posed. The love, excuse me, they made a correction. The love and passion. Do you have any regrets?
Um, yes, I definitely do. I think my biggest regret is that a lot of times I'm not tapping in with my grandkids like I want to. Like if it was like in my heart, I want to see my grandkids every weekend. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes that isn't possible. So that's like my biggest regret.
Gotcha. And when things Prophet, shout out to Prophet. We got Brick Squad in the building. Shout out to Prophet. He posed a question and he said, you know, what do you do to center yourself? When things get overwhelming.
Well, I don't really get like I pray, I empty my cup by giving it to God. Like I get weak so God can get strong. As the words say, His strength is make purpose in our weakness, and I'm not afraid to like realize that not only am I working with the artists, like all these talented artists, but each person got their own story, they got their own trauma, they got their own
This
warfare,
is
and
true.
so like it's that part of it too. And so the way I replenish is I just pray, I read the word, I listen to the word, and I just do what I do. I drink a lot of lemonade, no water.
I get it. I get it completely. In the near future, um, and not even the near future, just in the future in general, right? The future is every second, right? So, in the future in general, what's your vision for the collective? What's your end goal, if there is even one?
My personal goal is just to see each person that's in the collective and each person that I work with outside of the collective, be the best version of themselves. And for each artist, the best version of themselves are going to be different things, right? And that's okay. Like for some people, the best version of themselves may just be doing a whole project or conquering the imposter syndrome or like being able to collaborate with another talented person. Like, you know what I mean? For other people, it might be being on the biggest stages or getting 1,000 people see or like, you know what I mean? So what I personally want is I just want each one of those ladies and gentlemen to just be the best version of themselves. And then business wise, I'm looking for an investor, but it has to be the right investor.
Okay.
Because it can't be like somebody that's just going to over sexualize them, or we got to sign an NDA if we go to their party, or they want to give us 12,000 quarts of baby oil. Like we're not doing that.
It gotta make sense. It gotta make sense for the movement.
It got to make sense. Yeah,
It gotta make sense.
yeah.
On this show, we ask everyone this question: if, with all the information that you know now, every single thing and all your experience, if you could look back at the young Terrell at any stage in your life, just look back at the young Terrell and share something with yourself, what would that be?
I would say listen to God more. It was a time in my life when I was an atheist because my dad is a preacher, and like we just had like a really difficult relationship um, when he gave his life to Christ. And so, if I could go back, I would have like a better relationship. I would have not fought God for as long as I did because definitely would have been in a different position. Like you know what I mean?
Gotcha. I gotcha. We got two other.
I also don't listen to like music wise. I took a beating because I didn't know about music. I didn't know like what a mix was or whatever. And I just remember it was this one person, and they charged me like 1,500 to like mix and master Brianna's first project, and the mix and mastering was horrible. And
Oh,
it was just like I didn't know what to listen for. I didn't know what it should sound like, and I would just tell my young self to go find Asia, who like mixes our stuff now.
yeah.
And yeah, because
Nah.
that's like the most important thing is like you hear the music, but the work that Asia does or the engineers do to like put that polish on it is very important, and that's kind of what separates us from a lot of people. A lot of people are just sending in unmixed music, or somebody they might be a singer, but they going to a rapper engineer who don't know how to necessarily mix voices, and then you could tell.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's so true. Um, how do you balance and I think I can answer these two questions myself, but how do you balance your day job and your business between traveling? Oh, I think we lost him. Hold on one second. Let's see if we could get him back. Hopefully his phone when that happens, it's usually a phone died. So we're gonna see if he come back. But in the meantime, what we're gonna do in the meantime, I'm gonna give a few more seconds, but we're gonna go into Montreal's video shortly, and this is "If I Could Love You" video. But let's see if he come back on. Shout out to everybody that's on right now on the chat, participating and getting some energy, as well as everybody on the MJMG Presents app. Salute to everybody out there. But to answer Miss Jackson and Trey Mason, just from what he was saying, I could see him saying like his power in his spirituality, like God, like going back to praying and having that balance. I believe is one. Okay, he is back, y'all. Hold on, let's just square this off real quick, and he is back. There we go. There we go. There we go. I was filling in for you. I was filling in for
All
you.
right, all right.
There was a question. How do you balance your day job and business? That was from Ms. Jackson, and Trey May said, "Who do you lean on for your emotional support? Because you're always there for people." And I think I could answer that, but I'm gonna let you answer that to see if I was correct.
Um, I mean, I mainly lean on God, right? But I lean on my artists. Like, I would say Brianna, Infinity, Andromeda, Asia, Alon, Ariel, that's my pastor JT. That's my pastor right there. So like I don't really get to the I don't really let my cup get low. But the moments that I do get low, I could go to them and just have real conversations, and they'll give me perspective on how to deal with an artist, or like Brianna and Ariel. they would just read me, right? They would just get straight to the point,
Okay.
and like and it's like it's a dope community. It's a dope fellowship because like 90% of the people who are in the collective are are believers, right?
Okay.
And then a large amount of them are PKs, like you know what I'm saying. So we we resonate um high with each other,
Okay.
and we pray for each other. We cover each other. It's dope.
And I want to say directly to you on air, and some of our viewers are on, having Ariel on the show. I do want to extend any apologies to Ariel if she felt any particular way on the show, on the A&R desk that one time. Our intent was never to uh, put or challenge someone's creativity in that moment. So I just wanted to extend that to you. That's how I personally read the feel. I could be wrong. But I just wanted to extend that. That was not something that we were trying to do, and I think the conversation probably extended outside of the main goal at one
Yeah,
little point of
yeah,
that. But that was not the case at all, and I think there was a misconception of
yeah.
that show.
But all of those lessons eventually turn to blessings. So like in our conversations, me and her, like we worked it out. We worked it out.
Cool. Just wanted to extend that. I wanted to take this time to extend that to you right now. So what's in the works next? What could we look out for? What you got cooking up? What could we expect? Who's dropping? What's going on?
Well, it's about to be the fourth quarter, so no one is dropping.
Okay.
Um, but basically, the next things are on the 25th. We doing our residency at Alki Cafe in Harlem. And then on November the 6th through 8th, we're going to the cookout that's sponsored by Bots to do some networking and collaboration for projects. And then after that is pretty much get ready for 2025.
Nice.
I know like right now we working on a collaborative project. I'm going to do a compilation. So each person from the collective is going to donate one song that's already released, and then we're going to just put that out so that people can get a feel for what our sound is, and then um, I like I want us to in 2025. We're going to be doing a lot of sync placements, a lot of sync
Nice.
partnerships, because that's where the bread at, like
It sure
and
is.
live performance. I want to cultivate like intimate spaces, live performances, So we starting in New York, and we did one in Chicago. We had one coming in Atlanta in the beginning of 2025. So that's kind of like the vibe. It's just um, niche branding for us as a whole, and then individually, I think Ariel is working on a project. Alana is having some songs that she's EP she's getting ready to drop. Brianna has some songs she's getting ready to drop, and Rebecca and Infinity and Andromeda. Andromeda has a video that's releasing in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I think November the 6th.
Nice.
For I'm Cool. So yeah.
And for those, and I know right now your hands are full, but for those that possibly want to reach out to you, whether they interested in collaborating with your artists, or picking your brain about the collective, or even booking you into their town, what's the best
Yeah,
way
yeah.
for people to reach out to you and connect?
Just send me a DM either on Siki First Management or SYFM Collective, or hit up the email, which is Siki First Management at Gmail. and then we'll get to it.
There you go. Y'all heard it first, y'all. I want to take this moment to just tell you, for the artists that you work with and the approach and how much attention and direction you give the artists, I wanted to give you a salute. You know, a lot of times we don't get the flowers, and I know we're in the era of getting our flowers, but flowers die, and here on SHU Radio we like to give out honor, because honor lasts forever. And what you do for the amount of people you do in this climate is very difficult to find individuals like yourself. So thank you for what you do for artists and the sense of artistry and expression, because that is most definitely needed in this day and age, not just for the listener, but also for the creator. So thank you on that, my brother. Before we wrap up, is there any closing, anything you want to shout out, anybody you want to say? This is this is your moment right
shout
here.
out my. All right, so I could not be on here if it wasn't for the artists that I have. If it wasn't for the the tenacity that they take into the booth or in writing. So I want to just shout out the T-shirt. So that is thank you to Brianna Ray, Montreal, Align, Pichu, Kendra, Melodic Currency, Ariane, The Kid, Nia Voy, Killer Cole, Suave, Amber, AJ the Rider. Let me see who I'm missing. If I missed you, Ariel Rain, Montreal, Tatiana, all of my artists. I love y'all. Thank y'all. This is never happening again.
He said this is not happening again. So we got our one off, and we are so privileged and grateful for
Anybody
you.
want to interview, look at the YouTube link and just ask for permission. The story ain't gonna change.
There we go, y'all. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it first and possibly last here on SHU Radio. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you for again coming on the show.
Oh, wait. Can I just shout out one more person?
Oh, yes, most definite.
The most important person, my daughter Tiana. Because of her spirit, she allows me to have all these daughters and she don't trip. So I would be remiss if I didn't shout out her and I didn't shout out my mom, Regina, and my grandkids.
There we go.
I love y'all.
I love that. Salute to everybody, and shout out to everybody that's on right now for SHU Radio as well on the MJMG Presents app. I hope this was very informative. I did see someone say fire show, so they received a lot. So thank you for sharing that, for not just us viewing now, for those who are also seeing it later. And again, we're gonna keep our eyes out, because we know there's many branches on your tree. So
there's a lot of branches.
It's a lot of branches. So we most definitely gonna see a lot of the work that's coming out from that direction. So again, thank you, my brother, and I'm hoping you have a peaceful, cool, smooth, regenerative night.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much to Ms. Jackson, and shout out to Pastor Mo. You got this.
There we go. Shout it out. You have a beautiful and good night, my brother.
All right, peace.
Peace. Shout out to everybody jumping on and who been on. That was a really dope show to get the insight of the collective. I want to send a big thanks to all the people who participated in the chat, giving some feedback and some energy. It's always good to get that real corresponding energy from everybody that's on, especially if you have a thought. That's a great time to do it. But like promised, we're going to end the show with Montreal's If I Could Love video. I want to send a big shout out to MJMG Presents. This is every Monday 9:30. Tune in. Also download the MJMG Presents app at your normal and local app store. Whatever you got, whatever device you got, go to the app store, Type in MJ Presents and download the app. And the app is going to come with a lot more than just the interviews, but we have playlisting and look out for possibly movies. You name it, it's going to be a lot going on with that. So tune in. Actually, Montreal, we have an interview with her next week. So the video we're about to end the show with is the artist that will be sitting down next Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So tune in. Now you'll get the transition from the management now into the artist, so we could get different viewpoints from the same direction. That's gonna be really dope to shout out and see. So again, salute to everybody that was on tonight. We're gonna go into this video. You guys keep creative, be safe, and keep your faith in whatever motivates you more. I'm Spud Brooklyn.
SHU Studio.
We get busy. And this is Montreal, If I Could Love. Y'all have a good night, y'all. Be safe. And again, I can't say it too much. Keep creative.
If I could love you, I'd be all that you need. If I could love you, I'd take care of every need. If I could love you, I would never leave. When I wake up and see your face, I smile, and I feel your warm embrace. I cry.